and welcome to another session of Sunday Setups. Today, by myself, you do have the one and only LitCap Vel. And what I'm here to do for you guys today is give you a market outlook, but also more importantly, make a very, very important announcement. Lit Capital, as part of our 2.0 campaign, we are officially hiring new traders. So if you have been trading for quite some time, all you need to do is head over to litcapital.co.uk, inquire and enroll in one of our mentoring courses so that you can become eligible for funding. And if you haven't already, enter our Discord. It's a £25 subscription, which comes with crypto trades, Forex trades, stock trades, live stream calls, market outlooks, tutorials, ebook, book library, market analysis, and a 24/7 around-the-clock news team dedicated to bringing you guys news inside of the financial markets. So there's a lot of value there, and also live trades that you can copy from us. So that's 10 different reasons why you guys should be inside the Discord. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe with the video, but make sure you head over to litcapital.co.uk and secure the bag and come get lit. So with no further ado, we're going to head over to the economic calendar. This is always the most important thing we look for. And what we can see with the economic calendar is that Thursday is really the day the markets warm up. The interest rate decision. Usually interest rate decisions, or should I say formally, interest rate decisions used to send prices through the roof. Okay, prices would fly up 200, 300 pips just based on one interest rate. I remember times where me and Jacob would wake up for the Tokyo for the Japan interest rate just to kind of trade a yen pair to see how it would react. Yen pairs traditionally didn't really give us the reactions we were looking for, but a European interest rate, a British interest rate, and a dollar interest rate, these would really take center stage. So the European interest rate, as rates are so low right now, there isn't really much room for much room for downwards movement. But that's a lie, because we are on the verges of potentially receiving negative interest rates. So we'll see what happens with this interest rate on Thursday. Crude oil inventories on Wednesday, which, as every Wednesday, we usually get the inventories for oils check. I'll be heading over to oil, showing you guys what's happened throughout last week. And on Friday, we see GDP for the pound combined with the US federal budget on Friday. Now, for those of you who are not aware, the stimulus is on the verge or has already been approved now. So we are looking to see the dollar gain some strength, which is the reason why, or part reason why, we saw some strength in the dollar towards the end of last week. But there's also a lot of information that's to come, a lot of reasons why we can see a downwards turn with the dollar, and I'll be sure to show you guys that as well. So no further ado, we are going to head over to the charts, and this is where I remove my camera. And we're going to start off by looking at US 30. Now, with US 30, this is a very volatile pair, so please do not consider trading this pair based off of my recommendation. Anything you hear in this video is purely speculative, and you should be consulting your own financial advisor if you are looking to take information that I'm using here today for your own financial benefit. But with that being said, guys, we are looking to see US 30 continue pushing higher. There is a downwards momentum forming, meaning that, there is so much liquidity being printed below that, there is only so high the US 30 can continue to push. And when we look at the weekly candle here, the weekly perspective shows me that, we really did have a push up from this high here of the 2020, which eventually, once we did get a push up, we had a retest on it, and then price continued pushing higher. Now, I would really like to see if price could push down and work out of this weekly candle here, which would mean price falling beneath the 29,000 area. And if price could do that, we would, look at a potential buy from this area. But ultimately, I don't want people getting confused and thinking that because it's high, we should continue to buy. When prices are high, you need to think about shorting them. When prices are low, you need to think about buying. So, we're looking to see a retracement here, but we do understand there is a lot of manipulation in the American dollar right now, in the American economy. With all these furloughs and stimulus grants being given out, companies have been given money that, quite frankly, is just, you know, papering over cracks right now. So we are looking at a long-term short, but for now, you know, let's just see what the market is going to provide. Off of the daily, price is halted around this candle. Let's see how the market opens up on Monday, because ultimately with US 30, if you go down to smaller time frames, for instance, you can really find some profitable moves. And, you know, these are intraday moves that can really give you guys, you know, a week's worth of profits. So, you know, price is held up at this 4-hour candle as it's closed. From the 5-minute candle, just showing you guys where we was looking to buy from. You know, we had a few buys out of this area, and, you know, when price came back down here, it really did push away. So, you know, if you're wanting to know how to trade these pairs, you guys really do need to make sure you're with litcapital.co.uk, or should I say you're on litcapital.co.uk, because litcap is the way. I'm also going to show you guys the DXY. Now, the DXY has had finally a push up to the upside. You know, the DXY has been very sluggish of recent, and we've had a push up. You know, Joe Biden's jumped into the hot seat, hasn't really given us much optimism. But with that being said, of course, the stimulus is obviously going to give us that bullish momentum to the upside. And, you know, what we will like to see is price just hover around the 92 handle. If it could do so, then we would favor a short. We're not long-term bullish on the dollar. Okay, we know the dollar is very overvalued. We know there's a lot of content to come revolving the dollar. Okay, and when I say content, I mean there's a lot of information that's going to come out that's going to, you know, be very controversial for the dollar's progress. And, you know, not to go into anything that's not related to the financial markets right now, but if you have access to our live stream calls and you have access to our Discord, then you'll be able to, of course, have a better insight to our opinions on the dollar. But from a technical analysis, we really want to see the dollar continue to push a tiny bit higher, see what price can do around this 92 area. And of course, with that being said, that would support us on our other pairs, because if the dollar could push down a bit lower, we would see a continuation with the GBP USD. We gave out a short on this GU trade. It was from a weekly setup. We did have the weekly area hit and our weekly eye level, and prices just continued pushing down. And it's been a really nice trade for us to enjoy. Now, with that being said, we are sitting in over, I believe, 300 pips of profit. Okay, sitting in, over 300 pips of profit. And we're really looking to see how the continuation of this can happen. Okay, we do expect to see some pullbacks along the way. We saw a pullback around here, but ultimately, if you take a trade off of a higher time frame, whatever time frame you take a trade off of, that's the time frame you have to manage the trade. So, you know, we're looking for a continuation to the downside with the pound, with GU, excuse me. We do understand that the pound can, of course, have some short-term or even long-term bullishness. You know, the structure of the pound has been bullish. Okay, the pound has broken new lower highs, excuse me. But ultimately, when it's come to this monthly candle, it hasn't broken above it. And when we look at the weekly, it hasn't broken above the candle either. So we're looking to see just quite simply a pullback for the pound. Seeing a pullback for the pound would push price down to the areas of 1.34821. If we could see price just push back down to the 134 level, that would be pretty nice. That would give us a nice time to think about taking some more partials, but more importantly, seeing how the market's going to react around our weekly structure level here. So we will be keeping you guys informed and up to date on the Discord. If I can show you guys oil, oil's had a rocket up its ass. Okay, very simply, oil has had a rocket up its ass. And, you know, the OPEC meeting has come out, and through the inventories last week, we saw that the OPEC came to a conclusion, which has enabled price of oils to push higher. I believe they are stalling, but, you know, ultimately, we're only going to see oil push up so high before it does come down. And from a weekly perspective, what we want to see here now is this higher low. If price fails, okay, if price has already closed above here. So if price does not close above this area here, this higher low, then what we will be expecting price to do is very simply push down. So we could get a short from the 66 the 66.26 area. I've got an institutional level there. We want to see what price does around this eye candle, the 66 handle. You know, if price is fast, it usually doesn't last, but we have seen a bullish run, a good run from oil. So it's just really about just seeing where oil is trying to peel off from. If price does close above this area, then we are looking to see price pretty much react out of this candle up here, potentially off of the wick, push back down to give us that retest, and to then continue going longer. But ultimately, the safest setup here is the short. Okay, no matter how many times you may get burnt out of the short, if the short is what you see, the question that really might be at hand is where the entry is going to be. But you know, for price, for what price is doing now, which is replicating a very bullish price action, we just really want to wait to see price slow down and catch the short when it's available. So we will be keeping you guys informed and up to date inside the Discord on this one. Euro NZD, this has been a really nice pair. For those of you who know, this has been my pair to just really enjoy and let loose. We caught a real good sniper entry with this one here, and I know there's some of you are in the call today watching, and I'm pretty sure you're saying, yeah, money day. Euro NZD was really nice because we caught the move from the 79%. We also had a trade from this area previously, around the 17th of Feb. So this is what trading is about, but this is also the importance of being patient. You're not always going to receive a trade every other day. Okay, you're not always going to have a trade that's going to go in your direction. But if you take the trade based on the setup, okay, and your setup is matching your criteria, then you've got nothing to lose. Even if you take a loss on a trade, you still have more to gain than lose, because taking a loss should only be taking a lesson. So we're looking to see if the euro, if EN can continue to the downside. And if it could continue to the downside, we would be expecting it to come down to this wick. But price has been holding up this weekly structure level. So let's see what happens here. If we look at the smaller time frames, you know, we did see a nice kind of reaction off of the weekly level, which is kind of showing us that price does have more bearish action to give us, but we can only be patient to see what happens. Because ultimately, guys, with Euro NZD, we've still got this position running over the weekend. We do want to see what happens come this evening when the market opens, but this, regardless of how it opens, we should really get a nice opportunity to add to some positions with this one. So we'll keep you guys informed. Gold, this has been a real good beauty. We gave out this first trade at 1956, price pushed to the downside. From the 6th of January to the 4th of March. So we've held this trade for over 3 months. We've been able to hold this for over 3 months, capitalizing on over 2,500 pips. Do not get it misconstrued. We've given this trade out for free on our live stream session. So if you're not already inside the Discord, make sure you head over to litcapital.co.uk and purchase our community access for 25 small pounds a month. Okay. But yeah, with gold, you know, I've been going over this quite frequently, really, on the morning live stream sessions. I remember Thursday morning, which is my day to host a session, I said that I wanted price to come down and make a new low. Price did come down. It didn't really give us the low, but price came down nonetheless. It then gave a slight pullback, and then it continued lower. Now, I've got an institutional level at 1680. So I would like to see price ultimately just push down a tiny bit more before it looks at pushing up and wiping out all of the sellers. But this could be a nice move down from 1680. So let's see what happens. Set your alerts and I'll keep you guys informed and up to date in the Discord. Last but not least, I think this is the last pair I'm going to share with you guys, is Aud Jpy. So with Aud Jpy, I mentioned on some of the market outlooks that this red line, if you guys remember, I gave you this line and I said that this was an area that we wanted price to retest in order for us to go long. And price retested this red line to the T. If we go down to the smaller time frames, we can see here when price retested this line, we had no more than a 16 pip drawdown. A 16 pip drawdown to give you guys over 185 pips. So please understand that it's very important to have access to our Discord server, but also have access to our mentoring. Okay, what we're looking to see here for the Aud Jpy is a continuation to the upside, but a pullback would benefit us the most. If we could get a pullback to the downside, that would give us the better entry. I would favor a pullback down towards the 77.50 handle. If we could get a pullback around these areas, it would feel more better. It would feel more, I would feel more happier, should I say, in catching a longer position on this one. Because ultimately, from a higher time frame perspective, we are breaking records. We are breaking lower highs. So for us to be breaking these lower highs, the question now becomes, price has closed above this weekly structure level. Let's see if price is going to close above these highs. And if it does, then we're just very simply, guys, waiting for a pullback. And the pullback, we can only see how much the pullback is going to give us based on what price action is showing us. So I believe those are all the pairs I'm prepared to show you guys today. It has been a very different call because I've given you guys an introduction to myself, the face behind the voice, but I've also shown you guys in thorough depth a few pairs. So I hope if you haven't already, you like and subscribe and share the video with someone that you think will find valuable. And of course, the most important thing is to head over to litcapital.co.uk, get access to our mentoring program or our Discord. Okay, if you've got access to one or the other, you're going to have access to our trades, which means you're going to have access to improving your financial income. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a profitable week trading in the markets. And always remember, every day is money day. Peace.